Hello, my name is Rita Simpson Vlock, and I'm the Educational Materials Developer for Michigan Language Assessment. In this brief video, I'll be going over some tips to help you prepare for the listening section of MET, specifically Part 1 of the listening section. MET listening section has 3 parts. In Part 1, you'll be listening to a series of short conversations between 2 speakers. Each conversation is followed by one question. The conversations and the questions will be heard only once. The questions, as well as the answer options, will be printed on the screen. The topics for these conversations are everyday topics in a wide variety of categories, none of which would require any specialized knowledge. They could be in personal, public, educational, or occupational domains. As for the question types you'll encounter, these can be grouped into 3 basic categories of questions. Questions that ask about main ideas, questions that ask about details, and inferential questions. To prepare for the test, here are a few general tips. First, you have to expand your vocabulary. Of course, that applies to preparation for any part of the test. You will need to find authentic listening sources to help you practice. And above all, when you're listening, you want to practice active listening. In the remainder of this video, I will be going over some tips or some questions to keep in mind to help you with active listening strategies. So we're going to listen to 3 different sample conversations from Part 1. And to begin with, here are a few guiding questions to keep in mind before you hear the conversation. What is the speaker's relationship? What are they talking about? And in this particular conversation that you'll hear, who else do they mention? Let's have a listen now.
What ended up happening with that report you turned in last month?
Oh, the director was really pleased with it. He appreciated the amount of detail I included. I think he's going to ask me to write another one later this year.
That's great. He must have realized how much time you spent working on it.
Now that you've heard the conversation, let's answer those guiding questions. What is the relationship between the speakers? They're coworkers or colleagues. What are they talking about? They're talking about work, specifically about a report. And who else do they mention? They mention the director. Now let's see what an actual test question for this conversation would be. What did the woman say about the report she created? A, the work was difficult. B, the boss liked it. C, it needed more details. Or D, it took a month to produce. And the answer is B, the boss liked it. Let's move on to sample conversation number 2. The guiding questions are, where are the speakers? Why is the man asking the woman a question? What is the meaning of sort out in this conversation? And lastly, how does the woman feel about what happened? Now let's have a listen.
Ms. Fisher, were you able to sort out that issue with your room key?
Yes, and I wanted to thank you for the quick response. You always take care of everything so well here.
That's what we strive for.
Well, it shows.
Okay, so to answer the guiding questions, where are the speakers? In a hotel. Why is the man asking her a question? He's making sure her problem was resolved. What is the meaning of sort out in this conversation? It's to solve a problem. And how does the woman feel about what happened? She's pleased. Okay, what about a sample question? Let's look. The actual test question says, what does the man tell the woman? A, he has an idea for improving something. B, he's moving to a new room. C, he solved a problem with her door key. Or D, he wants to do a good job. And the answer is D, he wants to do a good job. If you said C, he solved a problem with her door key, well, it's true her problem was solved. But that's not what he told her, of course, so it doesn't answer the question. And now our last sample conversation, the guiding questions. What is the most likely speaker's relationship? Where are they? And how does the man feel? Now let's listen.
Wait, did that announcement just say that the next stop is Fifth Avenue, not Central Station?
Yeah, the next stop is Fifth Avenue.
Ugh, I thought we were headed downtown.
Now let's look at the guiding questions. The answers are, number 1, what is the most likely relationship between the speakers? They're strangers, or you could say fellow passengers. Where are they? They're on a train. And how does the man feel? He's upset or frustrated. And the sample test question for this conversation is, what problem does the man have? A, he missed his stop. B, he got on the wrong train. C, he went to the wrong station. Or D, he didn't hear an announcement. And the answer is B, he got on the wrong train. So now you've heard 3 sample conversations from part 1 of MET listening. Just a quick recap. We practiced some active listening strategies, which is a great strategy to keep in mind to help you prepare for the listening section. When you practice active listening, you do things like focus on guiding questions, take notes or write summaries of what you've heard. Whenever possible, listen multiple times. And if you have the opportunity to role play a conversation or retell a talk that you heard, that's also a great strategy to keep in mind. That's it for this version of the listening section test taker tips for part 1. We thank you for watching this video, and for more information, please visit us at michiganassessment.org, where you can find all the information about MET as well as a full sample test. And keep listening.